Namaskar, Suswagatam to another presentation by South Central Zone Cultural Center Nagpur, that is SCZCC. This time we have focused on making of very impressive and expressive and energetic masks. The Soma Mask that can be seen in the world famous Soman Kunitha dance performances. We have attempted to present a brief about their background and some details of how they are made today. They are regarded as the face of ancient and traditional Indian folk art and the universal message of victory over evil. Friends, making of our traditional indigenous masks and to promote them world over is certainly a way forward for realizing the goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Ji Modi has laid special emphasis on encouraging the Made in India toys and dolls. This is an effort towards realizing that great vision. Me and my team look forward to your appreciation for the art form and help spread this information about it. Jai Hind.
A performance in a folk drama or dance with traditional masks on is a common feature in many cultures, in Orient and elsewhere. From Japan, Korea, China, Sri Lanka to Africa. Masks have also been almost an integral part of the most ancient of these all, the traditional Indian art and culture since time immemorial. During dramas or dance performances, wearing special masks to suit the occasion is a regular feature among most of the traditional performing art forms in India, where a wide range of handmade masks have been used in a variety of ways since ancient times, more aesthetically and stylishly. Since long, the ethnic masks have not been just pieces that decorate, but a prominent property that also has ushered the Bharatiya cultural presence into its trademark identity. Every region, every language, or its dialect has had one or more unique styles of storytelling, blending the local cultures, customs and traditions, together with the sensibilities, the moral values and life's principles. These timeless tales not just depict the triumph of good over evil, but also convey silently their own evolution through the era gone by. Masks continue to amuse and entertain the viewers, even in the digital age today. In North Maharashtra, it's Songi Mukhote, and elsewhere in the south, Karnataka districts of Old Mysore region with masks in a ritual dance form called Soman Kunita, such as Tumkur, Chitradurga, Mandya, Mysore and Hassan. It's traditional dancing an intriguing blend of shapes, sizes, color, all its mystic charm in full display and in perfect sync with the beats and the rhythm. Karnataka, the abode of the ancient arts. Karnataka, the jewel in the crown of ancient India, resplendent with richness of history and heritage in every nook and corner. The home to architectural wonders and marvels as in Hampi, the place that breathes the memories of Vijayanagar Empire. Excavation in modern-day Karnataka continue to offer eye-catching surprises like these ancient findings, the remnants of an ancient Shiva temple in Chitradurga district. Karnataka is also the land of art forms, where every region offers its own rainbow of a variety of traditional art forms like Jogati Nritya, Karpal Mela, Nilgare, Kardi Majlu, or the renowned traditional Indic puppet show Sutradha Gombe. Karnataka never ceases to surprise and inspire. Like yes, Soman Kunitha. Soman Kunitha. The Somas are the children and bodyguards of the village goddesses or the presiding deity for the village or Grama Devta. Each of this peculiar looking, colorful, big and beautiful mask represents a godhead, Soma. The annual festival for worshipping the village deity is celebrated after Ugadi and Mahashivratri, much before the onset of monsoon. Kunitha is a Kannada term used to denote a ritual dance form. As per the ancient folklore, the Soman Kunitha is all about worshipping the guardian spirit, seeking its presence and blessings for casting out the evil spirits. The color of the mask indicates the nature of the Soma deity. A red mask denotes a benevolent deity, while yellow or black mask hints the opposite nature of the deity. The nostrils in the masks are represented by these holes in the mask that make the outer area visible for the artist. The back side of the mask is covered by multicolored saris held together by a structure using cane work called banka. On the day of the festival, several silver and brass ornaments such as anklets and the chest bands can be seen worn by the performers. Several times they also use natural elements such as peacock feathers and strings of flowers to enhance the mystic yet rustic aura. Almost 4 times bigger than a normal human head, the mask with its symbolic markings is held aloof by a staff which is draped with saris and ornaments, lending a mystic aura to the imagery. Here are two main masks in use. The red one is known as Dutraya, while the yellow ones are Kincharaya. The other two are Kariyanna and Bhutappa. The various qualities of Somars are described by the dance and accompanying music by a troupe of about 6 to 12 artists associated with different native instruments. It's an art form that has, since several centuries, successfully connected several castes in the community and brought them together at one platform. Usually, men belonging to Vokalinga, Lingayat, Besta and Kuruba perform as dancers on the excellent traditional beats and tunes played by male musicians hailing from castes that were considered in the past as socially weaker. These musical instruments play together pious and holy music that transcends the earth and its surroundings into a heavenly divine abode. The making of the mask. In Karnataka's Chitradurga district, this is Doddachellur village, a sleepy township of about 300 households. The town resembles any other rural Indian place with features of rural economy and agriculture. But this town ranks among those that have also kept a unique Indian tradition alive. A group of men is seen walking outside the village. One of them, Ramaswamy, can be seen carrying a thal with some puja material. It appears that they are on their way to perform some kind of ritual. 59 years old Ramaswamy is a carpenter by profession. He is also the priest at the village goddess temple. Ramaswamy hails from Nellarlahalli, some 28 kilometers from Chitradurga. They stop at this tree, called a butale tree, a medicinal tree that is more commonly known as Rakta Chandan or the Indian red tree or red sanders. The scientific name for the tree is Pterocarpus xanthalinus linn tree. It's a non-aromatic wood valued for its rich red color. Ramaswamy applies some chandan to the tree. The men worship the tree, seek blessings from the tree, and appear as if seeking approval for some act. They ring the puja bell and perform aarti. Soon they are seen returning with a block of wood. Here begins the story of a new Soman Kunitha mask. As the Soma masks are made from the wood of this specific Rakta Chandan tree, they reach the village deity's temple with the piece of wood. Here, the wood and tools are ceremoniously worshipped. Ramaswamy is invoking the Soma gods and praying one of them to shower special blessings on the mask that will soon begin taking shape. He appeals the Soma god to enter the piece of wood and make the mask lively. The work begins at the goddess temple premises. Traditionally, they prefer to carve the first mask of the Lord here in the premises. Apart from his regular tools, he even uses a modern centimeter and inch scale. For the next few days, Ramaswamy and his 20-year-old son, Cheluvaraj, regularly visit the temple premises and continue working on the mask. The rectangular block of the wood is supported by wooden plates so that they can adjust on the head. Earlier, the block was carved hollow from inside. But due to paucity of wood, time and costs, the block is carved till about 2 inches inside and then cut into plates, which are then bound together to build a single hollow block. A 4-inch thick plate at the front side is carved as the front portion of the mask. Materials like dolomite powder and artificial adhesives are used for the first white coat, and sawdust is also used to fill in the gaps. Then the artisans' creatively skilled fingers do the magic. By creating facial details, just keep watching. Yes, with these human-like features, life can almost be instilled, yes, almost, into a wooden log. Thus transforming it entirely. And lo, a complete face of the Soma god is seen, carved out of the wood, along with a pair of ears, eyes, eyebrows, nose, mustaches, teeth, etc. These masks are painted beautifully. Artificial colors have replaced the natural colors and decorated with colorful stripes of saris, flowers, neem leaves, etc. Each of these masks weigh between 15 and 25 kilos.
ನಾನು 40 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದಲೂ ಇದು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ತಾತನೂ ಇದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋರು, ಕಲಾವಿದ ಕೆಲಸ.
Ramaswamy makes himself quite clear on the importance of mask in folk arts when he says, "In the annals of Bharatiya traditional folklores, masks have been a prominent feature that have played a very significant role in storytelling. The ethnic masks have been frequently used as a prominent property during traditional folk or classical art performances." Ramaswamy shares memory regarding his family tradition and says that his grandfather used to recall having watched his grandfather do this, that is, create Soma masks. This tradition is more than 2.5 centuries old in the family. He learnt it from his father. Usually, Ramaswamy and his son can create 1 or 2 masks in a month and get about 4,000 to 5,000 per person per mask. His son, Cheluraj, is happy as the family tradition is being passed on to him. Now he will get to contribute his efforts to keep the tradition alive. Cheluraj says that instead of searching for the prospects of outside employment, he is fine with the idea of running the family tradition. These days, he also has begun learning to make domestic furniture items, agriculture items, wooden kitchenware and other items. But learning to make Soma masks is an honor for him. If possible, he would love to carry it forward to his next generation. The village deity temple in Dodda Chellur is thatched by coconut tree leaves and soil. It is as old as the village itself, that is some 400 years. There are other carpenters who have been renowned for Soma mask making, like St. Anjaniyappa, who hails from Mandya district. Although they engage in other wood articles to earn a living, they acknowledge that making Soma masks is deeply satisfying as it keeps them connected to their roots and fulfills the urge for creative identity. Among the South Karnataka districts, there are minor changes in the appearance of these stylized masks and in the way they are created. But the prominence of the large, protruding and ferocious eyes stays intact and is first among the common features in all of these masks. The other permanent features are the expression and the set of vicious teeth. Bearing the major features of the mask, each district has its own version of the Soman kunita performance, with big or small variations in the dance steps, the style of performance, the decoration or the associated rituals.
ಸ್ವಾಮನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೊಲ್ಲಾಪುರದಮ್ಮನಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದಾದೋ ರಾಕ್ಷಸಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಈ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರು ಆ ಮೂವರು ಸೇರಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ
A 70-year-old veteran and considered an authority on Soman Kunitha, S. Ramappa says, "I have been witnessing Soman Kunitha mask making and the performances. Watching these gave me goosebumps during the childhood. They still do. I have seen these in Bengaluru, Mandya, Chitradurga, Tumkur, Hassan. There are modifications in the rituals and the performances. The dance styles and the steps may differ, but the masks and the process of making these remain largely similar. It is maintained keenly and religiously everywhere." Soman Kunitha binds all together. Some of the changes had to be brought due to the changing times. Finding Soman Kunitha artists is getting harder these days as they disappear in the quest to earn livelihood. Getting all 12 artists together for a performance is very difficult. Even viewers are hard to find. Except during festivities, nobody seems to have time to spare to watch this treasure of art from our traditions. People lack will, the patience and the stamina essential to carry the 15 to 25 kilo weight of the mask and the decorative paraphernalia for longer hours. Thanks to the kind of patronage by big temples who have helped in making the tradition survive, most of the orders for booking fresh masks come from big temples. They are the organizers too. Ramappa points out that earlier, each mask were carved from one wood block. Today, Soman Kunitha masks are mostly created using several chips to make them lightweight and easy to carry. Since the earning it fetches is not attractive anymore, the carpenters do not wish to spend much of their time and efforts. The performance. Tippeswamy, an award-winning performer, team leader and folk art presenter, has travelled widely holding Soman Kunitha shows. He says,
ಸರ್ ಇದರ ಪುರಾತನ ಕಾಲದಿಂದಲೂ ಇದು ಕಲಾತಂಡನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸೋದು ದೇವಿ ಗುಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಜಾತ್ರೆ ಹಬ್ಬ ಹರಿದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ.
that Soman Kunitha is a form of goddess worship in Hindu traditions. The village deity is a form of Shakti and is believed to save the village from epidemics, natural calamities and disasters. It is also traditionally believed by the locals that these performances guard them from evil spirits. Apart from usual occasions like annual festivals in the month of Kartik or Dasera and Diwali, several temples and government agencies used to help organize Soman Kunitha performances. We have performed in Delhi, Mumbai, Haridwar, Rishikesh, Nagpur, besides Mandya, Mysore, Mahur, Chikmagalur, Gadmangalur, Tarikere and several other places. But of late, the lack of enough patronage has resulted in paucity of funds and opportunities. The existing artists have to earn a livelihood, and the new people are not interested. The strength of the usual 12-number troupe has been reduced to half. On the ceremonial day, before the performance, prayers and offerings are made to the village deity and the spirits to seek their blessings. Soon after the rituals are over, the drum beats become sharper and attain new highs as the masks are pegged. Attendants help the performer wear the mask. Soon the veil is lifted and out emerges a nicely decorated, shining Soma Mask. Being a heavy affair, the attendants are required until the mask is adjusted on his shoulders properly. Now he is not a performer, but a Soma god, who takes few peculiar steps and bows before his divine mother. The Soma god is announcing the arrival in the traditional way. The Soma god revisits the temple door, kneels before the divine mother again and again before squatting there on the floor for some time. Once blessed, the performer steps out. Ritualistic offerings are made and the performer gets the rhythm while the curious onlookers get darshan. The aggressive among the Soma gods carry sticks and display aggressive postures. Doing physical movements, wearing the heavy masks and the decoration is no easy task, but it's an honor to perform as a Soma god and participate in the traditional march ritual. This is an ancient way to ensure the village folk that all their fears, worries and crises will now be taken care of. The children even try to get closer to them to touch and feel. In bigger towns, people are busy in the day. Hence the ceremony takes place in the late evenings and the streets specially lightened up. The Soma gods even take a symbolic round of the village, as if taking a stroll holding either a traditional flag or a peacock feather. Barring the major features of the masks, each district has its own variation in rituals, decoration and dance steps, etc. The main performance is largely common. The Soman Kunitha drummer, Mr. Parmeshwar, has not received any formal education and even cannot count his age. But he has earned a reputation due to his dhol performances in Soman Kunitha. He proudly announces that men from his family have been performing for Soman Kunitha since generations. 59-year-old performer Nagrajappa hails from Gadchellur, a town place in Chitradurga district. He says, I as a child used to visit the nearby towns to witness Soman Kunitha festivities. I learnt it by watching senior performers. Soman Kunitha has done magic to me. It has been due to Soman Kunitha only that I could see big cities like Mumbai, Nagpur, and could also perform in states like our own Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. During the annual village festival, these performers dance in a unique rhythmic manner to the tune of the background instruments. These instruments are drums, pipes and flutes, etc. Locally, they call these array and dunu, that are percussion. Besides wind instruments called mauri and sadde. 64-year-old Sanai performer D. Dasappa says he's been fascinated by Soman Kunitha performances since the days as a child. He learned Sanai playing from other artists in the region. Now he wishes to see his coming generation keeping this art up. But Tippeswamy considers this as an uphill task. He laments that the rising cost of mask making and the monetary expectations by the performers and the musicians, the task of organizing shows is very difficult. He says the Soman Kunitha art form must become sustaining to survive. He has urged the governments to intervene via some positive initiatives. Because Soman Kunitha is an ancient treasure that must continue with the time.